Right now, you should expect single-family homes in the Glenwood Springs area to be around $1.5 million, $1.5 million. You can find them at $1 million or just a hair lower, but that's the typical range, $1.5 million. Townhouses can be found around $700,000 to $900,000 in Glenwood Springs. Condos are going to be $400,000 to $600,000. Of course, this all varies given the neighborhood, given the size and the age and condition. 5% is a typical low down payment in the Glenwood Springs area. You may be thinking, yeah, but what about FHA? Well, a lot of the condos don't qualify for FHA. So that takes us into 5% conventional loans. Now, of course, you're going to want to do 20% if you can, because you get out of paying the mortgage insurance premium. The loan program you pick often influences the down payment you're able to do. Those 5% programs, they're conventional. Of course, 20% is conventional too. FHA is almost one of the best options at 3.5%, and then you have the USDA rural development loan. Now, the problem with FHA, USDA, and rural development is not many condos in the area qualify for those programs. About 61% of the closings that happened in 2025 in Glenwood Springs were conventional. 61% had a conventional loan. 26% were all cash, and then only 3% were FHA, VA, or USDA. Another 10% was other. That's owner financing, that's some sort of other weird program, hard money, that sort of thing. If you want to know if you need to get pre-qualified before you buy a home, the answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely. I don't know how many times I've heard of people going out looking for the home they want to buy, finding the perfect home, and then finding out they don't qualify. Oh, that is so brutal. It is brutal because if they qualify for a smaller amount, every house they go look at after that is going to be compared to that first one they saw. Painful, painful. When I work with a buyer, I insist, let's find out how much you can afford before we go look. Interest rates move all the time, and I get asked, what are the interest rates? Well, they vary depending on your credit, depending on what you're buying. Right now, though, we're sitting somewhere around 6%. Talk to a lender, though. That is the expert. They are the expert on what interest rates are. One of the most important things is knowing how much your closing costs are going to be and being ready for that. Closing costs in this area run around 1.5% of the purchase price. Okay, so you're going to need your down payment and closing costs. However, we can and have asked for the seller to pay for your closing costs. Really what that means is you're rolling your closing costs into your loan. But perfectly legal, and we do it quite often. There are local down payment assistance. In fact, one of the best ones is in Glenwood Springs. It's for people who live and work in the area. You can get up to 20% of your down payment given to you by the city of Glenwood Springs, but you gotta be under a $126,000 annual household income. That gets hard because to be under $126,000 and qualify for the program, it also means that you may not qualify for the loan to buy the house because of what the prices are in the area. If you do use a down payment assistance program, they almost always require you to take a class, a first-time homebuyer class. That is true with the one in Glenwood Springs as well. If you want to know more about that program, DM me and I'll get you information on it. Property tax rates in the Glenwood Springs area run about 0.5% of the value of the home. They do change. They change based off of the value of your home, and they change based on whether there is an increase in taxes or not. But here's the good news. Here's the really good news. Colorado is governed by the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which was passed by a vote of the people about 30 years ago. What it says, though, is that municipalities, counties, the state can't raise taxes without a vote of the people. So if property taxes go up because people agree to pay more taxes, okay, fine, we all agreed. If they go up because of the value of your home, well, that's a thing you can appeal with the assessors if you feel like it's not accurate. If you do want to appeal the value of your home, give me a call, because I've acted as a hearing officer, hearing disputes between the taxpayer and the assessor's office. I can help you get your assessment lower, which will ultimately lower your taxes. You absolutely can buy an investment property in Glenwood Springs and use it as a short-term rental. There are rules. One of the biggest rules is that it can't be more than 250 foot from another short-term rental. And they have a wonderful interactive map that shows you where those other properties are so that you can determine if the one you're looking at will work. For a full guide on short-term rental rules in the Roaring Fork Valley, DM me, and I'll help you understand Glenwood, Carbondale, Basalt, El Jebel, Aspen, Snowmass, all of the rules up and down the valley.